Lesson number 1, September 28th. The Price of Pride. Within Scripture, one can see two predominant themes or motifs that are competing with each other. One is the theme of Salem, Mount Zion, Jerusalem, and the New Jerusalem, which represents God's kingdom. The other is the theme of Babel and Babylon, which stands for Satan's counterfeit domain. Several times God called his people out of pagan Babylon to serve him in the promised land. For example, Abram, later Abraham, was asked to move from Ur of the Chaldees to the land of Canaan. At the end of their long exile, the Jews left Babylon and returned to Jerusalem. And in the book of Revelation, God's people are called out of end-time Babylon to abide with him eventually on Mount Zion and the New Jerusalem. Isaiah 14:12-15 says, "How you have fallen from heaven, O star of the morning, son of the dawn. You have been cut down to the earth, you who have weakened the nations. But you said in your heart, I will ascend to heaven, I will raise my throne above the stars of God, and I will sit on the mount of assembly in the recesses of the north. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds, I will make myself like the Most High. Nevertheless, you will be thrust down to Sheol, to the recesses of the pit." What far-reaching consequences did Lucifer's pride, while in heaven, bring to the universe and to this world? In the Bible, the city of Babylon stands for a power in direct opposition to God and his kingdom, and the king of Babylon, with special allusion to Nebuchadnezzar, becomes a symbol of pride and arrogance. God had revealed to King Nebuchadnezzar that Babylon was only the gold head of the great image of successive empires. Challenging God's revelation, the king made an image entirely of gold, a symbol that his kingdom would last forever, and even required everyone to worship it. As in the case of the king of Tyre, the king of Babylon also became a symbol of Lucifer. Isaiah 14:3-11 describes the fall of the haughty and oppressive king of Babylon. Then Isaiah 14:12-15 moves from the historical realm to the heavenly courts and highlights that a similar proud and arrogant spirit generated the original fall of Lucifer. The text explains that Lucifer planned to exalt his throne above all heavenly hosts and make himself like the Most High. This was the beginning of a new and hostile situation in which God's altruistic love and cooperation would be challenged by Lucifer's selfishness and competition. The enemy was not afraid of accusing God of what he himself was and of spreading his lies to other angels. Here are the mysterious origins of evil in the universe. Why is it so easy to become proud and boastful of either our positions or achievements, or both? How does keeping the cross before us prevent us from falling into such a trap? From the book Selected Messages, Volume 1, page 222, it says, "The work of opposition to the law of God had its beginning in the courts of heaven, with Lucifer the covering cherub. Satan determined to be first in the councils of heaven and equal with God. He began his work of rebellion with the angels under his command. seeking to diffuse among them the spirit of discontent. And he worked in so deceptive a way that many of the angels were won to his allegiance before his purposes were fully known. Even the loyal angels could not fully discern his character, nor see to what his work was leading. When Satan had succeeded in winning many angels to his side, he took his cause to God, representing that it was the desire of the angels that he occupied the position that Christ held. The evil continued to work until the spirit of disaffection ripened into active revolt. Then there was war in heaven, and Satan, with all who sympathized with him, was cast out. Satan had warred for the mastery in heaven and had lost the battle. God could no longer trust him with honor and supremacy, and these, with the part he had taken in the government of heaven, were taken from him. From the book Christ Object Lessons, page 154 and 155, it says, "The evil that led to Peter's fall and that shut out the Pharisee from communion with God is proving the ruin of thousands today. There is nothing so offensive to God or so dangerous to the human soul as pride and self-sufficiency. Of all sins, it is the most hopeless, the most incurable." Peter's fall was not instantaneous, but gradual. Self-confidence led him to the belief that he was saved, and step after step was taken in the downward path until he could deny his master. Have a blessed day.